Good afternoon or evening or whatever time it is that you're watching this. Shelton Church Naz family, it's Pastor Josiah. I just needed to give you a quick update. Hopefully you're being able to tune into our digital Advent candle reading and lighting on Sundays, and you're paying attention to when we're posting our sermons on Wednesdays. Wednesdays being the day we've actually had most of our groups meeting in the middle of the week, which is why we have been doing that. But due to the increasing concern in our county with this pandemic, with COVID-19, this is the point of the video, the update that I wanted to give you, is that I've met with our COVID committee, and we have decided that it is in the best interest of our church family to suspend all in-person gatherings for the rest of the month, at least. Hopefully, as we continue to assess the situation, we can give you an update maybe in January, but our numbers are very high. Our hospital is often flirting with what would be normal capacities, and like we've said since day one, we would much rather choose to self-sacrifice, to be self-sacrificingly loving, not just for our own congregation, those that are within our congregation that are most vulnerable, which there's a number of us that come to this church that have some concerns, but also because it's being a good neighbor. We don't want to unduly expose our neighbors, physical neighbors that live next to us, or those that we work with or shop near or spend time with. And we're just going to continue to do that. This is just for a season, for a time, and it may continue to be longer than we wanted it to be. It may last further into the future than we ever have expected it to last. I'm sure some of us thought this would be over and gone a long time ago, but here we are. Right now, the numbers are concerning, and I know anytime people hear numbers they don't agree with, they just choose to pretend they're not real or call them fake news. But these are just the facts of the matter. The latest numbers say that in our area, if you're in a small confined space with 10 people, there's a 25% chance you will get coronavirus with the current numbers that we're seeing and experiencing here in this state. It's not a county-specific thing. It's actually indicative of the whole state. So obviously with averages and percentages, there's just math that goes into effect. But 25% it's higher than I thought it would be. So in this season of Advent, in this season of unprecedented 2020 stuff, we're gonna continue to practice self-sacrificing love, because that's exactly what this Advent season celebrates. We've talked about hope. We're gonna hear a sermon on peace. Then we're gonna talk about joy and love, and we're going to celebrate the advent of the birth of a Savior who came to offer salvation through self-sacrificing love. And this is of course Jesus, the one that we follow. So if our Savior, if our leader can practice the ultimate self-sacrificing love, I think we can continue to be mildly inconvenienced. No, it's not what we want. It's not what we like. But truly, it could be worse. It could be a lot worse. So hang in there. We'll get through this. This is not the end of our story collectively. Church might continue to have to adapt and grow and change, and things might look different in the future, but that's okay, because the important stuff will stay the same. The things that are most important, what we believe, we profess to have faith in how we live our lives, will remain the same. And the things that are maybe a whole bunch of personal opinions and personal preferences for how we do things, how we do church, those might change. But that's really not the end of the world. So once again, this is just a brief update, and I'm getting dangerously close to making this a sermon. But I just wanted to make sure you guys heard it from me, because I know sometimes don't hear from the pastor, don't hear from... it's not real, but we are not having anything in person for the rest of this month, including Christmas Eve. And as much as that bums me out and that saddens me, it's also the reality of our situation. And it's not permanent. And eventually, this virus goes away, and we figure out how to live with it. And this is not a permanent state of being. And it's temporary. And things will get better. But until then, we continue to celebrate even if it's physically distanced from one another in digital and creative ways. The Advent season, Advent 2020. Hope to see you soon. Pay attention to the upcoming Sermon on Peace. And yeah, Merry Christmas. Hang in there. 2020. One for the ages.